Well, hi everyone. Welcome to A Chat with Daddy, where we take a deep dive in the world of littles, middles, pets, and caregivers, and explore the joys and challenges of the unique lifestyle. In today's episode, we're hanging out and having a chat with a little. So without further ado, here's the next episode. Okay, I just wanted to thank you for joining me today for this chat. It's a real pleasure having you here today. If I can get you to introduce yourself with your little name and age.
Hey, so my little name is Lily. My little age is around 3 years old, and my actual age is 21.
Okay, and when it comes to age regression, have you been doing this for a long time, or this is just a new thing for you?
Um, I've been doing it for around 7 years old, so I,
Okay.
I was actually a bit young.
And what does age regression mean to you?
For me, it's more like something therapeutical, I think. It's helped me sleep, calm down, and it just makes me feel safe.
Good. And when you get into that headspace, is it more using props, or are you more like getting into like watching cartoons or drawing? What usually gets you in that headspace?
Usually, I either listen to childish music or I listen to videos, and the thing that immediately works for me, I just grab my teddy bear, and I don't know, it kinda do a thing in my brain, and I regress.
Good. And do you have a favorite teddy bear?
Yes.
Yeah, can you
I have
describe
a
it?
lot of them, but my favorite one is like almost a meter,
Oh,
not
wow.
very white anymore.
Okay, that's a
And
big one.
yes,
Yeah, and what's his or her name?
Robert.
Robert. Cute. That's adorable. And so when you get in that headspace, is it more of a solo thing for you, or have you done it with partners before or friends?
No, it's for me. I've talked about it to my friends and my ex-partner, but I prefer to do it alone. I feel more safe.
Okay. And when you shared it with your friends and your previous partner, how was that received for you?
Um, I was scared at the beginning to talk about it to them because I didn't know how they would react. But they were really sweet and caring, and one of my best friend actually tried it, so I found their reaction really, really cute.
Oh, your sorry, your friend actually tried it. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's really good. And are you still friends?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, that's great. It's great to have people that you know that you can share those kinds of things with, and it's really nice. Have you had any challenges when it comes to age regression?
The only challenge that I can think about is hiding it from my parents
Hmm.
because before I was 18, I was still living with my mom, and I've been raised in a pretty religious family, so I was scared that they found it weird or things like that, since it's not really, I don't like this term, but normal. So I
Yeah,
was really, really scared of their reaction, but I think they never noticed it, so
good.
that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. It is a scary thing when people don't, when you think that people don't understand, especially when it comes to this. And as you're saying, it's quote unquote not normal, just because I think most people don't do it, but it's not
Yeah.
bad. There's nothing wrong with it, and I think that's what a lot of people don't understand sometimes, which is very
Yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah. How do you? So when you get into that headspace, is it for a long period of time? Do you find, or do you just do like a few hours, or how does that look for you?
It depends. Sometime when I know that after I have to go to class or to work, it depends. I do it like 20 to 30 minutes. And if I have more time, it can be from 3 hours to 2 days.
Okay. And so, can you describe what it looks like for you? Like when do you do onesies, passies? How does that look for you?
Um, since I'm a student, I don't have a lot of money to put it into it, but I have like I've said, I have Robert. I have a passy, what I have else? A lot of blankie that I really care for. And I think that's all I use because, yeah, financially, I don't have money for expenses like that. Even if I would love to buy uh, so much things, it's complicated.
Yeah, and from when I've been doing these little interviews for a little bit now, and from what I've been gathering or hearing, is those collections can get really big sometimes. So you have plenty of time to
Yeah.
to get into it. But that actually brings me to another question: is this something that you see yourself doing long term, or do you think this is just something that you're going to do in your 20s, or how do you see that happening? What's your projection?
Honestly, honestly, I never really thought about it. Um, I will just continue doing it since it helps me in a lot of things in my life. And when it doesn't bring me comfort anymore, maybe I'll stop, but I've never really thought about that.
Well, that's a great way to look at it. Actually, if it still brings you joy, then you keep doing it. If it doesn't, then you stop. I think it's a great way to do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And have you ever felt any guilt towards doing it?
Mm, since I do it mostly alone, not really. Maybe guilt for my cats because I wasn't petting them, but that's it.
Well, good, because I find feeling guilty for something that's brings you positivity is not necessarily
Yeah,
conducive. But yeah, so good for you for owning it
I
and
am
being okay with
lucky
it.
for that.
Yeah, it's very lucky. Yeah, and how do you balance your school life, work life, and age regression?
Most of the time when I'm regress, it's before I'm heading to bed. So when I'm in bed, but I go to sleep a few hours later. So I know that I have nothing else to do, no studies or cleaning or anything like that. So, it helps me to fully regress and not stress about I have to do this or that. So usually it's more at the night time.
Good. I think it's the best time to do it. You get to feel really relaxed. When you started, because you said you started at a very young age, did you do your own thing without getting information elsewhere for a long time, or did you start getting information like on the internet or through friends? Like how did that grow?
I started in kind of some weird way because I was just trying to learn English with audios, and I found it not really searching for it, and I was like, I kind of like the feeling of what I'm hearing and the state it makes me on. So I continued to listen to audio, and that's it.
That's
After
actually
I read some forums, book, and everything, but that's kind of how I started.
that's a great way to start. To kind of like you get to learn a language at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, so your English is you do speak English very well, and we spoke a bit before, and your mother tongue is French. But when did you start first learning English?
Uh, we start learning it really early at class in France,
Hmm.
but I really started to talk and understand what I was hearing around 13 or 14.
So when you watch kids shows or you mention music, do you listen to stuff in French or in English?
In fact, both. So, cartoon that I can see in France on my TV, I will look it in France. And if I can't find something in particular, I will search in English and I will listen in English since I understand everything.
Nice. You also mentioned looking at forums and stuff online. Is like I'm not quite sure when it comes to the culture in France, but do you find the French culture more open to this kind of stuff versus English, or do you find it pretty much the same?
I think it's even worse in France. Um,
Oh no.
Everything that don't follow the line that is not absolutely straight, it's not normal for them. So age regression is not normal. A woman liking a woman is not normal. So it's kind of evolving right now with my generation, but the ones before mine, so my parents actually, if we don't follow the line, we are sort of alien.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
most of the forum are in English because of that.
okay. Well, that's very unfortunate. I'm really sad to hear that. I always thought the French culture was a lot more open when it came to kink or to I mean like sexuality when it comes to same sex marriage, that kind of stuff. I'm sad to hear that's not what I thought. That's too bad.
But
Yeah.
wait, no, it's not really open at all. Even things that are really common, like I don't really have an example right now, but yeah, there are some things in the kinky world that almost everyone do, but we don't have to tell because it's weird.
Huh. That's unfortunate. Here in Canada, we're pretty. I think we're pretty open when it comes to various things. There's actually an event happening in my town here, and a pretty big event in a couple of weeks, I think, and it's kink based, and the attendance is a lot more than I originally thought. There's going to be a few thousand people going, so I was very surprised. So yeah, so it's I'm happy to be living here in this kind of way too. That they're more open to that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
can you remember in going back to when you first started to now, a time where you felt the most comfortable or you had the most fun in that little space?
I think it was 4 years ago because that's the when I started to live alone. So I didn't had to hide anything. I would let my passy on my table and it won't bother anyone. So I think this year is kind of the best for me because it was like an open new world. I would do everything I wanted, even staying in, I don't have the word, in.
Yeah, you can say it in French.
euh, ouais, en France, on appelle ça des body.
Oh, des body. So I don't even know what that
Les, bah,
is.
c'est les tenues qu'on met souvent au petit, justement. Oh, j'ai plus le nom.
Like
Mais j'ai plus le nom en
onesies.
français. Yes, yes.
Okay, onesies. Yes.
I had some clothes that looks like onesies, and I could stay and walk in my apartment with them without anyone seeing me. So it was really cool.
That's a great feeling. You mentioned that you prefer doing it solo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what your situation is now, but if you do have a future partner, is this something that you'd want to share with in the future, or is it something that you think you'd want to keep to yourself for a longer period of time?
So right now I don't have a partner, but in a situationship with someone. Uh, at the beginning, I'm pretty sure I won't tell him because I didn't really test it to see if he was really open-minded about it or not. If he is, I think I would tell him.
Okay, so it's something you do want to share. That's good. When it comes to little space with somebody else, is your main thing being taken care of, or just to be able to be yourself in little space in front of it, or is there something different? Like what's appealing to you about having a partner, knowing?
Most of it, I think, is just being able to be myself without them looking at me like, what is she doing? So It's more to know that I can do the thing without them judging me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, so if someone were to come to you today and if they found out that you had experience in little space and they too felt like they wanted to explore it, what would you tell them? Do you have any guidance for them?
I don't really know what I would tell them, like, because I don't know if I'm the best to instruct people. I don't think it's the term, but I would explain to them what it is in the big lines. But since it's very different from people to another, I would just recommend to them to read a lot. That's really what's helped me after to understand everything. And I could help them to find forums and everything, but I'm not sure that I would be able to be a really good teacher. Sorry.
Well, so far, the information you're giving us, I think you do have information. Sometimes we don't know the information we have until we're asked. But even just sending someone to forums and the knowledge of having those forums out there, sometimes people don't even know. So yeah, I think you have information, and I think what you gave today is good information for people to have. So sometimes we don't think that we have the experience, but we do. When it comes to watching audios online, more specifically my audios, is there a specific type that you like to listen to the most?
Uh, I don't really have a type. I like of all of them, so I just switch every night. I listen another one and another one. I don't really have a favorite
You
type
don't
of
you
videos.
don't even have a favorite style? Like, do you prefer like the punishment ones or the lesson ones or the sleepy ones?
This week I have listened almost to only sleepy ones, so I will say sleepy ones.
Yeah, those are quite popular, actually.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the interviews that I was doing, a lot of the littles and middles and pets were saying that they really enjoy the sleeping ones, which is kind of cute.
Those videos are really cute.
Yeah, and they're fun to make as well. I did the typing one there a little while ago, and I was typing some stuff while I was doing it, which is kind of fun to do. So I was putting myself in that headspace as well. Actually, that brings me to another thing. Like when it comes to getting to that headspace, because I find myself when I go into that daddy space, that the headspace, I find myself being more creative. Do you find that for yourself as well when you're in that little space?
Sometimes yes, but it can depend. Sometimes, yeah, I would draw a few words mm, on my books,
Yeah.
and sometimes I just feel too lazy to do anything. So I open my computer, put my cartoon, pet my cat, and that's it. But sometimes, yeah, I'm really more creative.
Yeah, I think creativity kind of goes up and down for everybody, and I think this kind of brings it out for me, and for other people as well. So yeah, do you find that getting into that headspace, you find yourself to be more compassionate or empathetic as a person?
I hope that it doesn't emphasize compassion for me because I'm someone that is, in fact, really, really, really compassionate for everyone, a bit too much. So when I'm in little space, I think that I still would be a lot compassionate, but I hope that is not too much because I don't want to bother anyone. So
I don't think
I
it's a
try to keep it balance.
I don't think it's a bother, but maybe that has something to do with it because you started at such a young age. Maybe you've just become a really compassionate person because of that headspace that you can get into sometimes. Maybe that's a positive byproduct of it. So never
Yeah,
know.
it could be.
Yeah. So this pretty much concludes the end. But if you had any advice for anybody out there listening, what would it be right now?
I think it just would be if it makes you happy, just do it.
Yes.
I- If you don't harm yourself or anyone, It just do what makes you happy, even if some people may say that it's weird or everything. You don't care about people.
I agree 100%. Yes, whatever makes you happy as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. That's, yeah, 100% for sure. Well, thank you so much. I had a great time with you, and thank you for taking the time to share this with us.
But you're welcome.
Well, what a fun little chat. If you're a little middle pet, daddy, mommy, or caregiver, and you'd like to participate in this series, please send me a message in the email below, and I'll reply to you as soon as possible. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. I hope to see you in the comments, and I hope everybody's having a great week.